What's up, everyone? And welcome to Project XTalk, an Xbox podcast, episode number 64. I'm your host, Kevin, aka the Muffin Man, and I am joined today by my lovely co-host, the human alpaca himself, Tom. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Kevin. Play some fun games this week. Can't wait to discuss.
I can't wait to hear you discuss them. We are also joined by the third man in our panel here, the man from the UK, Aman. How you doing?
I'm doing great, guys.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm just gonna get this out there, guys. Our game of the year picks. Please don't give us hate for them. Just throwing it out there at the top because you're gonna hear some things, and I'm gonna say some things. But before we get to that, I have some housekeeping to do. Remember, guys, we're live every Thursday on youtube.com /C/Project X Talk at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Head over there, watch us live, hang out with us. If you can't catch us live, we post on audio services every Friday morning at 9 a.m. So if you missed us, you still got us the next morning. And while you're over there, why not drop us a rating or a review? We're approaching 20 reviews on Apple, so if someone could just get us that little bump, and we need a few more Spotify ratings, and so we can actually have our ratings show up. So if you could, even if you don't listen on Spotify, please head over there and just drop us a rating on Spotify. Maybe it's a 3-star. I'm not picky. Whatever you guys feel, whatever you're feeling. If you like us that much, give us a 5-star. I would really appreciate that. And like I said, if you give us a 5-star review and rating on Apple, I'll read it on the show and give you a shout out. But that's not what we're here to talk about. That's all I got to say for housekeeping. I'm gonna jump right into this because it's gonna be a fun episode, guys. But as we do every week here on Project X Talk, we start by going around the room and asking one simple question. And that question is, what you playing? So, Tom, I have to start with you because you're the man buzzing. You can't wait to tell me what you've been playing.
All right, so pretty much this week it's been Halo Infinite. I actually was playing the multiplayer earlier this weekend, and I would be because you guys have been mentioning how they fixed the progression, they made it a little bit better. You're like progressing a lot faster. Yes, you are. I was playing it. I actually progressed a couple levels.
Yeah.
I am still not impressed with it. Still, it's so slow. Still, so it jumps from like 300 experience from like the first game, and then it just gradually decreases. Seems like.
But then you got the challenges.
Yeah, but like that still forces me to play a specific way just to progress, or play a specific game mode to progress. So I'm like, okay, you guys are giving me more experience in the very beginning. That's okay. It's like a daily login bonus, pretty much in that regard. I still hate the progression in this game, and they need to do a lot more with it. And oh my gosh, that's not even with talking about the microtransactions. Like, have you guys seen the new Mr. Chief microtransaction that came out on there for $20?
Yeah,
you get it's a sticker, AI model which you never see in the game anyways.
You see them in strongholds.
But you barely ever see them. They need to really reevaluate their MTX strategy with this game, because I feel like it's impacting the overall multiplayer aspect of the game. And I know they talked about it previously. They mentioned it on, like, I think last week or the week before that, one of the like heads over there. Speed it up, guys. You got to hurry up. Like, fix your prices, fix your progression, and I might be happy.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you why I'm not happy.
Oh, God.
The campaign of this game also has me not happy.
No. Why?
So I want to just put it out there first. I think this is legitimately the worst Halo game I've played in terms of the campaign.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yes. So I want to say that. I want to say this. I think that every Halo game has a good campaign. Even Halo 5 had a good campaign. But I would rank this game under Halo 5. Like, literally, this is the bottom tier Halo game that you can possibly get into right now at this very moment. I see a mock cracking up. So this game tries to do a lot of new things, and I appreciate a lot of the new things that they brought into the campaign with. It's more about the execution of it all and the environments and the overall pacing of the story. It all does not mesh well. So let me start off with what they did well. Grappling hook. Literally the best thing about this game, and that's the best thing about the campaign, and that's it.
No.
That's it.
No.
Wow.
Everything else is pretty much copy and paste from like old Halo games. You run around. The shooting feels solid, but geez, there's the environments are all the same. They're all samey. It doesn't matter where you go. There's
that is a fair criticism.
There's like no different biomes. Like for example, you go to Halo 1, there's like you have a beach. You have ancient structures to go through. You're on the what is it? Is it the Infinity? Whatever the Pillar of Autumn.
Pillar of Autumn, yeah.
So it's like it has multiple different like areas that all seem visually appealing to you and actually adds to the world. With this game, I think the biggest fault of it was it becoming an open world game because they did such a bad job of the open world structure of this game where they didn't actually add good different biomes between the different areas. They didn't take good notes of other open world games that already exist out there. They could have looked at, for example, the Far Cry series, how they handle their open world games and how they handle the different biomes from the regions. Halo Infinite does not do that. It's like, all right, boom, you're on Zeta Halo. That's it. There's some octagons, pillars everywhere, some grass, maybe some trees over here. Okay, cool. Let's throw in a Forerunner structure and you got a game. It does not make a good, diverse experience. Also, the way that they handle their open world structure in this game for like all the side activities, they're okay, I guess. Like, I like that they actually add to the campaign itself or your experience. Okay. Like the best ones to go for, in my opinion, were like the boss enemies that you find around, because you get like special weapons from them. Cool. I want that. I want the best sniper in the game or whatever it may be. You get them as a reward from them, and then you can load it up at your base of operation before you start the next mission. That's fine. But I feel like beyond that point, every other aspect about it seems like it's arbitrary that they even added it in there. Like, okay, the base of operations, you get a new spawn point. The boss enemies, you get a new enemy or new boss, new weapons. Then you have the stupid ones like, all right, go save this field of, UNSC soldiers who are out here by themselves. You'll get some valor. And at that point, it feels like super samey and boring. They have like the big structures as well, like but the big structures that it says that it has an impact to the overall like banish of what they're working on there, but you don't see that in the game. So it's like, oh, this is a weapons site. You take this out, it's gonna actually put an actual blow on them. But is it though? Nothing changed. They still have like the overpowered weapons, and they're just still wrecking me. They could have added something to that as well. Like, okay, you take this out, maybe you get like you get a damage buff, or they get a damage decrease. Something like make it so their weapons are weaker because you destroyed their weapon silos. I don't know. I'm not a developer. That was on them to figure out. I feel like those were just like, okay, just extra throw in missions. And I feel like other games do the open world structure so much better. I get it was their first time doing it. You have something to say, Kevin?
Listen, man. Okay, I hear some of the criticisms are completely fair. Like the lack of biome diversity, completely fair criticism. It's all Northwest Pacific and Forerunner structures. Like we get that. I expect different biomes in like the expansions or whatever. I don't agree on the banished outposts, your criticism of that. Like I get you want like what you're saying, like yeah, that would have been cool if like you took out some sort of like, oh, their vehicle depot and then they don't have like as many vehicles spawn or whatever. Like that would have been cool. But I didn't feel like because that didn't happen, I had a worse experience because like you take over that base and you still feel like instead of that area being flooded with enemies, like now your soldiers are there. And like story wise, I felt like it added a little like it added something to the story. Like you especially did you find the audio logs? Like I love the audio logs in this game. Like I think it's a
I did not go out of my way to collect the audio logs,
okay.
but if they're there, I pick them up if I hear them. But I didn't look for every audio log because I didn't care enough for the story to begin with. So, and that's where I'm going to actually go to the next point, the story of this game. So, this game throws you into it throws you in the middle of a battle. Something big already occurred before you got to the point of Halo Infinite. And from what I heard prior, all of that sounds so much more enjoyable and like a better concept for a game than what this one actually does.
You mean what we learned in the holograms throughout the game, like what happens with like Cortana and everyone?
Exactly. Like, for example, there was a battle in Sydney on Earth. I would have liked to play there. That would have given me way more diversity in the map as well, and given me something to fight for. Because that's like homeland, and we don't really ever get that in Halo games. Besides like New Mombasa and like Halo 2. I guess Halo ODST does some of that too. Like, there's really no interaction in Earth.
So I do. Okay. I have to disagree simply because this game to me is fixing the errors of 4 and 5, where I think 4 is absolute garbage. That's literally my least favorite Halo. I think this one ranks right under Halo 2 for me as like the second best Halo. But I do feel a distinct lack of like that big set piece. Like, you have the Scarab destroying the city in like Halo 2. I do feel like that is missing. But I don't want to play a lot of what was given to you in the story. And we're not talking spoilers. So I don't want to do that because Cortana never should have been the bad guy. Like that was the whole mistake they made in 4 and 5 was making her the bad guy. Like, why would I want another game where she is now the main antagonist and I have to stop? Like, that's never what anyone wanted. So I don't want them to continue that mistake.
Yeah, and that was stupid because in Halo 4, that's where it should have ended. Cortana should have never been involved in Halo after Halo 4, period. They brought her back in 5. She was corrupted. And then we got a continuation of that in Halo Infinite, pretty much, where no, we're not talking about spoilers again.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what happens. But I feel like the pacing of the story in this game is not really good because of the open world structure to it. It doesn't flow as well, and also there's like a lot of moments there that they're just like they're trying to pull heartstrings, like with the pilot.
I love the pilot.
He's there. Okay.
No, he's a
they add him there to show like, okay, this is the human side of Master Chief.
Yeah, it works great.
Does it though?
Yeah.
Did you feel like crying when you saw the pilot? No. Like, my family, I want to go home.
No, I legit teared up like multiple times towards the end of this game.
Yeah, I agree with Kevin here. Yeah.
Like I said, I my biggest issue with the story is the pacing and also that it feels extremely incomplete. They could have added more to show the actual context of how we got to Zeta Halo, and then post game. The issue is talking about spoilers.
Yeah,
pretty much every Halo game you end with, like you were talking about, like the big set piece where Halo 3 the ring breaks pretty much. Halo 2 same crap. In this game, it ends it with like a filler, like, okay, we're gonna end it here with a big plot point at the very end, and we're gonna add expansions later on to this game for the story to help finish this up and finish the actual fight of Halo Infinite. This game came out super incomplete, and that's my issue with it. The story feels incomplete. The multiplayer felt incomplete. It is incomplete. There's no Forge. This game just has multiple issues. I want to just point out, like, as well, like everyone listening, This game was on my top list that we were gonna do later, but I immediately removed it after I finished the campaign because I had to drop it off because of this.
He did. It's true. He messaged me like 15 minutes before we started the show.
I felt like the game just had way too many flaws to include it. So I was like, this is just me ranting now. But yes, that's what I've been playing, and I am upset.
Amon,
I'm just trying to manifest a scenario where, like, if Halo Infinite came out last year, I can just imagine Tom going on Twitter writing a massive.
Oh, it would have been worse if it would have been worse last year.
Tom writing a massive rant.
He would be massacring this game right now. Like,
I mean, after the 1 year delay, it still is like least favorite Halo. Damn.
Which is crazy, like, because you and me, obviously, Amon, we did our review and we both loved the game.
Exactly.
Like, wow, I didn't expect this from Tom. Like, obviously,
I love Halo. Like, the franchise of Halo, it's amazing. And I'm not saying this is a bad game at all. It just, as for a Halo game, I expect so much more. And I expected so much from 343, and they did not deliver yet again. It seems like it's an issue of 343 with me specifically, and they cannot seem to execute ever.
This is the only one I feel that they've actually executed on. Like 5, I don't think is nearly as bad as anyone says it is.
No, and the multiplayer in 5, I think is the best in the series.
I think 5 is good. Well, and I think Infinite's multiplayer gameplay wise is better than 5. But 5's multiplayer was good. 4, I don't like at all.
4 had a good story. The multiplayer was just don't talk about that one.
Yeah. Okay. We can't spend all the time on Halo, obviously. Everyone, if you're unsubscribing, please don't take your hand off the mouse. Remove your finger. Most of us still like Halo Infinite. It's okay. It's okay. You can like the game. Just because a podcaster says something, don't mean you gotta get mad. Amon, we're gonna go to you now for what you playing. Unless you have anything else, Tom. Okay, Amon, what have you been playing?
Okay, so I picked up my Switch again after like months. I've been playing Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I think it's amazing because I played the original ones way back when I was like 7 or 8 years old. And playing that again was kind of nostalgic, and it's fun. It's a fun game. I am disappointed that they don't have like Mega Palkia or Mega Dialga in the game. Like the Mega, they completely like left the Mega Evolution thing behind. So I was pretty upset about that. But other than that, yeah, it's a great game. I've also downloaded Civilization 5 on my PC, and that game's pretty good. I wanted to play 6, but then my my laptop couldn't handle 6, so I'm like, okay, let's go for 5. And
it's on sale right now.
Yeah, I got it. It was for $29, I think. And yeah, it's a great game.
I don't mean to draw away from the games, but your camera is a gray screen right now. Are you able to like lower the resolution maybe so it doesn't strain your bandwidth as much? Obviously, you can do that offline when you're muted, and I'll move on to what I've been playing. What I've been playing this week, I've been playing a lot of Halo multiplayer. I just hit rank 50 in the battle pass, so I'm halfway through it. I still think it's great. I still have a lot of fun every time. The progression doesn't bother me anymore. Like I just knock out the challenges because most of them are like just play a game mode, and I'm like, okay, I can do that. Like I like bouncing around through the game modes. The only game mode I don't really like is Fiesta. It's just RNG. Like
that's the funnest one.
I hate it
when you get the sniper or when you get like the crazy weapon. Like, okay, time to kill everyone and keep doing it nonstop.
I hate the human sniper. Like I hate it. The stalker rifle good, shock rifle good. Basically, like, just don't give me the human sniper. I can't hit anyone with it. But the other team, like they'll get rockets and a sword, and you get like a plasma pistol, and you're like, oh, this is a fair fight. Like, what a good game mode. I don't understand why we even wanted that one. Other than that, I've been playing some Toy Story 3. I did pick that up for $5. It's a fun 3D platformer on the 360. I mean, it's what do you expect from a movie tie-in game? Like, is it I would say it's way better than like most movie tie-in games so far. I haven't played that much. There's like an open world kind of element to it. You can go to like Woody's Roundup and like help villagers and build like a town and go out into the Wild West and do all this side quest stuff. It's really interesting. I'm like, this is a 360 game. Other than that, I played Pumpkin Jack. My review for that is up on the channel right now. If you want my full thoughts on that, great 3D platformer though. I platinumed it. That's my 10th platinum, my last one of the year, guys. I got the platinum. Really, really good. Easy collectibles. And then I'm 2 chapters out of 6 into Alan Wake Remastered. I picked both those up on sale. Tom, have you ever played Alan Wake?
I played American Nightmare.
Okay. So I'm 2 chapters into Alan Wake. And why is he such a jerk? I don't like him. I'm like actively rooting against him. I was like, you're so mean to everyone you talk to.
Maybe that's why everyone's like trying to kill him.
I don't know. He comes off like pretentious. He narrates the whole story so far. Like maybe he gets better. Maybe he's got some character growth. The story's interesting. My big issue right now is I can't walk more than like 3 feet without a cutscene playing, and it's really annoying. Like, let me play the actual game. That's my big issue. Other than that, that's all I've been playing. Haven't played anything else, I don't think. Amon, are you there? He is not there, folks. He has disappeared. Oh man, I didn't want to start the list without him, so hopefully he gets back. Should we go? Should we do your disappointments? Should we wait?
I can do my disappointments.
Okay, all right, guys. We're gonna head into the game of the year discussion. I've asked for 5 most disappointing games this year, and then your top 10. But they're not gonna read their top 10. They sent me their top 10. Everyone on the podcast, so Garrett, Tom, and Amon, and then I ranked them. I gave number 1 10 points, 2 9 points, yada yada yada, and compiled Project XTalk's Game of the Year list. So we're gonna go through our disappointments, then our honorable mentions, and then I'll get into the Game of the Year list. Tom, before you do that, I want to read the audience submissions to buy us a little time, if I'm being honest.
You go ahead.
Yeah. So put out on Twitter at Project XTalk if you want to follow us over there and interact with us. What was your game of the year and your most disappointing game? Lucas Agan from Land Parties responded, "It feels like a cheat to say Mass Effect. So I also loved Guardians of the Galaxy, Little Nightmares 2, and The Forgotten City." Now, I haven't played. I tried Forgotten City and I didn't like it. I know it's like universally loved, but I could not stand that game. Played for like 2 hours. It was not for me. Did you ever check that one out, Tom?
I tried it.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those games that's like sitting on my hard drive collecting virtual dust currently. But I do plan on playing it.
Okay. I tried Little Nightmares 1 this year, and I didn't care for it. So I probably won't play the second one. And I haven't picked up Guardians of the Galaxy. Waiting for a deep sale on that one. We have White Sea Deer says his game of the year is Little Nightmares 2. So another shout for Little Nightmares 2. And he says, most disappointing is Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. Felt like a mobile app.
Really? The game was fun.
Okay, so have you played it?
Yeah.
I was going to pick it up for me and the girlfriend on Switch.
Like, if you're a fan of Super Monkey Ball, you're going to like the game.
Yeah, I played it back in the day. It was fun. And then before we head over to check if Amon is alive, Online Warriors podcast says Metroid Dread, Deathloop, It Takes Two, and Hades were some of our top picks of the year. Good shouts. 4 games nominated for Games of the Year awards over at Jeff Keighley's show. Amon, you all good? You back with us, buddy?
Yeah, it's all sorted.
All right. Tom, now that we've got the audience out of the way, we are going to go over to you for your top 5 most disappointing games of the year.
All right. So I actually ordered these out for myself. So my number 5, I put NBA 2K22.
Okay.
This I feel like it's a yearly disappointment for me, but this year even more disappointing. They had a terrible feature with their open world structure that they forced throughout the entire game. Did not like it, didn't appreciate it, and don't know what the hell they're doing on that game anymore.
Hmm.
GTA San Andreas, the definitive edition. So I had to add this one. It's obviously you guys seen all the memes online. It deserves to be on this list. I'm not gonna even talk about it more. The Ascent as my number 3. So this is a game that I actually had high hopes for, and I thought it was pretty good. But from when I played it, I had to restart my character twice due to my character getting deleted when playing online. So this game is definitely going to be on this list. I never finished it. I never want to finish it at this point. It ruined the game for me.
Oh, okay.
Diablo 2 Resurrection. So the reason this is on the list is because they didn't modernize anything besides the graphics pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with this game they could have modernized it and also like allowed people to like maybe toggle between which mode of the game they want. Like you want like the true to heart version, or do you want one that's actually gonna like if you're a modern gamer. That's what I feel like I needed, especially with the inventory management. You guys should have fixed that. Number 1 is Outriders.
Oh, good shout. Good shout.
Obviously they had to be on the list. So I didn't have any major issues like Kevin, but this game was super disappointing for me because I had so high hopes for it, especially when I beat the game, getting to the end game. I wanted to have so much fun with this game, and there was like no content in this game at the end, and that's my biggest gripe.
I hear they just put out an expansion for it or something, like DLC, new story content.
They did. I actually re-downloaded it.
Yeah.
I plan on trying it again. I just have to find a group to play with.
Yeah. Let me know if it's worth going back to. I don't know how like substantial the new content is. I want to, before we move on to Amon's most disappointing games, Tom, would it surprise you if I told you someone on this panel put Diablo 2 Resurrected in their top 10 games of the year?
Yes.
Well, you'd be surprised then, because someone did in fact put it in their top 10
it has to be
games of the year. So keep that in mind as we move forward to Amon's top 5 disappointing games of the year.
It's on you, buddy.
Okay, so my top 5 disappointing games of the year. Number 5, Battlefield 2042.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it started off well. I was having some fun, but then it just got boring, repetitive. It didn't have any new content, so it got bored. It kind of got a little boring. And then number 4, I have The Medium. Yeah, I did not like this game at all.
How actually dare you?
Yeah, I tried so hard to like this game, but yeah, I just couldn't like it. For some, it just felt off to me. The story was okay. The gameplay terrible. I just didn't like the isometric view or whatever that a Silent Hill type of thing was. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. And at number 3, I have 12 Minutes. This was one of my most hyped games of the year, and ended up being a massive disappointment. Same goes for number 2, The Ascent.
You guys both put The Ascent.
Yeah, again, very repetitive. And number 1, Hitman 3. Yeah, I expected a lot. I expected a lot more from this game.
Wow, Amon. Controversially, 2 of the games you just named made someone else's top 10 games of the year list. So your disappointments are someone else's enjoyments. Guys, before I give you my biggest disappointments of the year, I'm gonna throw over to Garrett. He did send me one disappointing game of the year, and he wrote dishonorable mention WTF Craftopia, and that's all he wrote. WTF Craftopia. So he didn't like Craftopia. I remember him talking about it vaguely, but I'm gonna move on to my biggest disappointments of the year, guys. And we're gonna start off with Outriders. Tom, you also had this on your list. And I think this wouldn't have made my list if it wasn't for the inventory wipe glitch, where I couldn't play for 3 weeks, because this game actually exceeded my expectations because I didn't have any. When I first saw this game, I was like, it's going to be bad. And then I played it and I thought it was a ton of fun. I had a great time with my friends until my inventory got wiped and I couldn't play the game. That didn't sit well with me. So that's why it makes the list for my biggest disappointments. In a similar vein, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl.
Oh man.
I was so excited for this game because, and I want to make one thing clear. I think the gameplay of this game is great. From a gameplay perspective, it plays very well. It's a very good platform fighter. My issue comes with it's bare bones. There's no voice acting. It needs more modes. It needs a story mode. The online didn't work for like 2 weeks well on Xbox, and then they fixed that. The player base has basically dwindled to nothing. Crossplay is finally coming in Q1 2022, about 6 months too late. Like, will there be a player base? I don't know. I'll go see if I can actually find some people playing, but there were a lot of issues. This game needed much more time in the oven. Nickelodeon needed to give them way more money to actually make the game that the developers want to make, because the developers are passionate and great people that I've interacted with in their Discord. They're great. This isn't on them. The publisher has sincere and Nickelodeon has sincerely screwed them over. But has to go on my disappointing games of the year list. Excuse me. I'm going to go number 3, new Pokemon Snap. I adore the original Pokemon Snap. It was a game I would play over and over again, trying to figure out all the puzzles and the secrets. So when they finally gave everyone their wish, it was like, hey, we're going to make a new Pokemon Snap. I was like, yes, this could be great. And the character models are beautiful in this game. Like, I wish the actual Pokemon games had such good like models as the Pokemon in this. But there's a lot wrong with this game. It's not very fun. It's a little repetitive. They make you do the same missions over and over again to progress. And there's just like no secrets. There's no, throwing something in a whirlpool and getting a Gyarados. There's no throwing it over an area you can't see and a Pokemon jumps out. Like, there isn't those little secret things. It's just missing from this game. There's a few things here and there, but overall, like, the level design just wasn't as creative and good as the first one. So I beat it and then I sold it immediately. I almost recouped all my money. That was a big disappointment. The next 2 are Game Pass games. 12 minutes. I'm going with number 2. Like Amon, this was one of my most hyped up games of the year. I had been listening to like podcasts talking about it, like getting excited for it, because I think like it had amazing voice acting behind it and a lot of promise. Like the whole concept is still so good to me. And then you actually play the game and you're like, this doesn't work at all. Like, this is frustrating. The puzzles are way too obscure and obtuse sometimes. Like, I just think back as like, in what world am I ever supposed to know I have to flick the switch twice and then lead the cop into the bedroom? Like, how is that intuitive in the slightest?
It was smart. Like, after I shocked myself a couple of times, I was like, oh, okay, let me go in there and just make him shock himself.
Man, I try like, and then the fact that there's no like skip past all the like old, like you have to do the same dialogue over and over and over. Like, time loop games like the Forgotten City actually lets you just do like a speed run, like a snap your finger and you recount everything. So you don't have to do everything over and over again in that loop. That's a much better implementation. I don't know. 12 minutes did not live up to any sort of excitement for me. And then my biggest disappointment of the year, guys, is Back 4 Blood. This game I was so excited for when it got revealed at last year's Game Awards, I think it was. And I was like, It's gonna be the Left 4 Dead like that we've all wanted. I'm gonna play with my friends all the time. It's gonna be so much fun. And then like PvP, then they showed the PvP, and you're like, wow, this is not what Left 4 Dead PvP was. Like, this is not what I want at all. And then you play the game, you're like, this is definitely not what I want at all on the PvP side. The campaign was fine. It wasn't like good. I like the structure of Left 4 Dead campaigns much better. And then the beta was way too easy. And then the actual game comes out and they're like, we're going to overcorrect the complete opposite way. We're going to make this game incredibly difficult. Like, too many special zombies, the worst final boss in any game you've ever seen, lots of bugs. It's not going to feel all that good to play anymore. Man, Turtle Rock, you really screwed this one up. You think after Evolve, you would like try to listen to the fans, the card system, which is useless. And then they went and got themselves bought by Tencent. So don't care about them no more. That's my biggest disappointment, guys. And I will say, someone put Back 4 Blood on their top 10 games of the year list, and yeah. I can't believe you. Can't believe you did this, and you know who you are, guys. We're gonna do honorable mentions now before we get into the actual list. Tom, I'm gonna circle back around to you. You got some honorable mentions for me, or no?
The only honorable mention I had was 12
That's
minutes.
Fine. Oh, get out of here, man.
Yes.
Why is this an honorable mention?
I love the formula of the game. The story was really good. And it wasn't too long. It was just like a nice 4-hour adventure to go through. Just get to beginning to end. Great voice acting. It was just it's the funnest point and click game I've played in a long time.
Okay. Clearly, Aman and I do not share the sentiment. But Aman, do you have any honorable mentions?
Yes, I have two. The Gunk, one of them. I really enjoyed the game, but I didn't think it was good enough to break into my top 10 games of the year. There was also Forza Horizon 5. I think I'm not a racing game guy, but then I had fun with the game. But again, I didn't enjoy it as much for it to break into my top 10 games of the year list.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one game I thought would have been on everyone's list.
Well, then I'm about to disappoint you. I'm about to disappoint you some more there, Tom, because my honorable mentions are Forza Horizon 5.
You were raving this game. You gave it great reviews.
Listen, man, it was a good year in games. I don't know what to tell you. It's a good year. Forza Horizon 5 makes my honorable mention list. Persona 5 Strikers makes my honorable mentions list. Fist, Forge, and Shadow Torch makes my honorable mentions list. Dodgeball Academia makes my honorable mention list. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Crash 4. Control Ultimate Edition. Fantastic game. Sometimes I think about that game and I'm like, that's so good. I loved that game. And then the Gunk as well. I'm with Aman. I really enjoyed the Gunk. I think it was a great experience. Might have been the last game 100% on Xbox for the year. So I love that little 4.5 hour experience. Can't go wrong there. I know it's pretty divisive online. Like, some people really don't like that game, and then other people like it. I don't know. Luke Lore's been talking it up, and I'm with him. I love the game. So, and Mr. Boomstick, he also loves it. So our homies of the show, they're with me. They know what's up. I'm on. Guys, you ready to get into our game of the year list? Because I've done the numbers, and let me tell you, I don't know what you guys are on, but we got some weird picks. Okay, so coming in at number 10, and the numbers are going to be messed up because sometimes there were ties. Okay, and I only chose 10 games. Okay, so keep that in mind. Coming in at number 10, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart and Death's Door and Resident Evil 8 and Mass Effect Legendary Edition. They all tied on points.
Okay.
I'm the only one that voted Ratchet, and apparently that's good enough to make our number 10. Aman and I both got Death's Door in. Aman was the only one that wanted Resident Evil 8 in to the conversation. And Garrett was the only one that wanted Mass Effect Legendary Edition into the conversation.
Were they like number one? Is that how they ended up so low on their list? Is that,
Huh?
Because you said it's by points, right? You were
Yeah.
So they had to be really high up the list to get to number 10.
Yeah. So So some people put these pretty high up the list, and it beat out things that we put lower on lists. So I'm the only one that's played Ratchet, so I understand that one. Death's Door. I'm really glad that someone else gave that a shout out, though. Aman, why'd you put that one so high on your list?
Oh, that game was great. It the playing like Hades, one of my favorite games of all time. It had a similar playing style to Hades, and yeah, the art style, the aesthetic the game gave off, great. Just loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. One I need to know, because I have your list here. You put Resident Evil Village at number 3. Care to explain? Because you single-handedly
Number
got
4.
this.
I put it on number 4.
Oh, this must be your old list then. But you single-handedly got this into the top 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was a great game. The campaign, the story specifically, it was just great. The ending was probably what got it down for me. Otherwise, it would have been easily number 1 on that list.
Well, if anyone's curious, all 4 of those games got in with a combined total of 7 points. So not very many. Tom, any of those surprising you?
I mean, the Ratchet and Clank, I thought I would have ended up higher on the list. I could have sworn Amon played it as well.
No, he doesn't
Oh no,
have a PS5.
I don't know. Play PS5. I don't know PS5.
Then it makes sense.
Yeah, in case anyone's curious where I ranked that, it was 4th. So it got 7 points, as I just said. Guys, that was the only one that had like a crazy tie where I had to include a bunch of games. Number 9, and I don't like this pick, and I'm gonna single one of you out for putting this so high. Number 9 is Battlefield 2042. Tom, explain yourself.
I knew it was Tom. As soon as you said that.
This actually made it to number 3 on my list.
Whoa.
It's an amazing game. It has flaws, like every game does, but they've patched a lot of them out like relatively quickly. It has great progression. The hero system they add into this game adds so much to Battlefield compared to any other game. But this feels like a brand new Battlefield game to me compared to the previous ones. It is so varied, and I love this game so much, especially the Battlefield Portal, where you can like customize like game modes. Pretty much, it's like their old, like pretty much like their Forge system. It's super sick.
Aman, how do you feel about that, knowing it was on your biggest disappointment list?
I can't believe you, Tom. Like you put Halo, like Halo doesn't make your list, but Battlefield does. Come on.
It's a great game.
It's a game.
Look, because what I was looking at it is I was looking at things as a complete package. For the complete package of what this game was, that's why it made it.
Yeah, it was.
If Halo was just like a multiplayer game, it would have also made my list.
No, see, like the thing with Battlefield 2042 for me was it started off as fun and then it just got boring and repetitive. That's why it like dropped down to my,
Yeah, but were you ever like a Battlefield fan?
No.
All right, so then it makes sense.
Yeah.
That one got in with 8 points. You were the only one that voted for it.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. Number 7 and 8. We also have a tie here. And it is Far Cry 6 and Diablo 2 Remastered.
Garrett
put Diablo 2 Remastered as his number 2.
Oh, whoa. Man, that's so high. That's so high.
Which is why it got where it got. Far Cry 6, he put not on his list. Tom, this was actually you getting it in.
Yeah, that was my number 2 game of the year.
It's your number 2
Whoa.
game. I'm surprised it didn't make Garrett's list. I really thought it was going to because he loves
Yeah,
that game.
he talks highly
Yeah.
about it.
Interesting. Why'd you choose Far Cry 6, Tom?
I love the island aesthetics of the game. The story was really great. Gunplay was good. A lot of it is pretty much just basic Far Cry formula that they've been doing for years. Which to me, if it ain't broke, don't change it. But the story really added on to it a whole lot. And this game was just easily. Oh, also the music in this game. Really love the music. It's like a lot of Spanish music that I grew up listening to when I was a kid. And I was like, this is super nostalgic. Let's throw this in here too.
I have a friend that really liked Far Cry 6 from what he played of it, and other people I've heard say good things. So like I've heard mixed reception about it. You really liked it. I will say, because I'm gonna move on to Garrett. He's not here to defend himself for Diablo 2 Resurrected. I don't know what he was thinking, but I want to give you guys into a little. I saved this for this specific one because I want to give you a little glimpse into what Garrett was thinking, because he gave me some honorable mentions, and I think you're gonna like them. It was Iron Harvest, Atomic Crops, and now here are the two that you're gonna like: The Ascent and Back for Blood are his honorable mentions.
Well,
So
I mean, Back for Blood was on my list. So, but
the Ascent, like I'm just saying, clearly the man doesn't share the same opinions that the rest of us seem to. Garrett. Okay, number 6. The first, not the first, but one of the games I voted for, and one of the games Amon voted for. It got a total of 13 points. So our first double digits. It's Scarlet Nexus coming in at number 6. Amon, I was really surprised that you put this on your list and got it into our top 10. Way to go, because this game is awesome. This game is so much fun. The combat is great. I really like the story. If you're an anime fan, I think you'll really dig it. It's got 2 paths. Both, I think, they do the perspective thing very well. Amon, why'd you pick it?
Exact same reasons as you, dude. Combat is great, story is great, love the characters. I thought Yuito was a little bland as a character, but everything else great. Loved it.
Tom, did you ever decide to play this one?
No. I have it on my wish list on the
it's on Game Pass.
Game Pass. What is the Game Pass? You know how they have the play later wish list on Game Pass?
Yeah.
I got it there. I might play it eventually. Probably won't, but
well, it's our number 6 game of the year. Number 5, because I don't really have much more to say on Scarlet Nexus. I really just want to get to these last few. Number 5 is voted in by one person. Or wait, no, 2 people. 2 people. And Tom, I'm gonna let you know it's not you. You didn't vote for this one. I didn't vote for this one. This is an Amon and Garrett pick. Coming in at number 5 is Hades. Now, Amon, I want to know, why did you pick Hades?
That game is so fun. Like it's like the 5th roguelike I've played and the only roguelike I've enjoyed. Like the combat is great, the art style is great. There's also a story to it, which is kind of interesting. And yeah, I just loved it. It was great. It was number 1 on my list. So yeah, that is my game of the year.
It was number 7 on Garrett's list. So he didn't get it nearly as many points. I think, let me check. I believe this got in with, if I can find it, 14. So it barely beat out Scarlet Nexus. Honestly, if you hadn't put it number 1, I don't even know if it would have made the list. But it did. It did, because you got it a whole 10 points. I don't like roguelites. I can't.
See, I don't like roguelikes either. But then Hades is different. Trust me, Hades is different. Like, it's not as hard as most roguelikes. It's fun. It's engaging. Like it makes you go back to it. Yeah.
But you're still starting over every time.
There's some progression though.
No, there's some progression. Like if you reach a certain checkpoint, you start from there. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we're in the top 4 now, guys. Unless you got anything to say on our picks beforehand, Tom. Anything? Anything to throw
I'm
out
just
there?
looking at my list and I'm like, where the hell are these things?
Well, I'm gonna let you know a lot of your list didn't make it. Didn't make it, unfortunately, buddy. Like I know you had Control Ultimate Edition on there. Not it didn't make the top 10. I'm sorry to say. Number 4 and 3, because these two games tied with a total of 17 points each. We have Psychonauts 2 and Tales of Arise. And I could not be happier. I thought I was going to be the only one to vote for these games. And here they are, number 3, number 4, however way you want to split it. 2 games I 100%ed, 2 games I absolutely loved. The best RPG of the year and the best 3D platformer of the year. I'm over the moon. I forget who else picked it. Tom, I think you picked
Yeah,
Tales.
they're both on my list.
Oh,
I
they're
think
both on your list.
Tales is my number 4.
Yeah, I also
Psychonauts
picked
at 7.
Psychonauts.
Oh, okay. So we're all in agreement. One big happy family
What
here.
about Garrett? Did he put Psychonauts?
He did put Psychonauts at number 10, which I
Okay.
think is criminally low looking at some things on his list. So since Garrett's not here, we're gonna rag on him because that's what I do. Make fun of the co-hosts that aren't here. His list was Psychonauts 10, Flight Simulator 9, Rust 8, Hades 7, Jurassic World Evolution 2 6, The Gunk at 5, Mass Effect Legendary Edition at 4. And then I'm not going to spoil the rest because it impacts the rest of the categories. But why'd you put Tales and Psychonauts, Tom?
Psychonauts, like you said, it was a great platformer. I love the art style of the game. Tales of Arise, great combat, great world. Even though I did have some like issues with like.
Beat it? Did you beat it yet?
Did I beat the game yet? No, I'm pretty close. I'm in the next world or whatever.
Okay.
So it's like I'm getting there, but it's just like I put so much hours into this game. I think I'm like at what, probably like 40 or 50 hours.
Okay, you're almost
done.
done.
I'm not done, so I'll get there.
You probably have a few more hours. Lots of dialogue.
From what I played, I'm satisfied. Like I don't mind putting it this high on the list.
Yeah, sorry if anyone can hear the train. Apparently, the train is really excited for Tales of Arise. Aman, you put Psychonauts too. Why?
Yeah, that game was just amazing. The concept was great. This was I haven't played Psychonauts 1, but I jumped straight to Psychonauts 2. I love the concept, the art style. I think it was also one of the best platformers I've ever played. Also one of the first 3D platformers I've played. Loved it. It was great. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
No, Tales of Arise is on my wish list. I still haven't gotten it, but yes, that's next on my wish list.
It's on sale right now.
Yeah, it is on sale right now.
It is? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's on both PlayStation and Xbox, part of the countdown and holiday sales. Great game. Highly recommend. I mean, you like Cyberpunk, so like any RPG is gonna be this one's like the Taj Mahal compared to that.
I mean, I wouldn't take it that far.
Little trailer
in terms of actually deep RPG mechanics, Cyberpunk might got it topped.
Cyberpunk's over there. You got the trailer park, and then Taj Mahal. Just saying. Guys, we're in the top 2. And if you think critically about this, you can probably figure out what they're going to be. But which order did they come in? So that's kind of my spoil number 1 when I say number 2. But coming in with 18 points, which is only one above Psychonauts 2 and Tales of Arise, I want to say, it's Forza Horizon 5.
Whoa, really? Oh, God. Okay.
Forza Horizon 5.
Has to be Halo.
What? Does it though? You don't know. You don't know what people voted for. I know what people voted for. Yeah. So Garrett put Forza at number 3, and Tom, I believe you put it number 1.
Yeah, that's my number 1.
Yes, number 1. Damn.
You two were the only 2 to put it on your list, which is why I got 18 points. What makes Forza Horizon 5 so special there, Tom?
I mean, you've played it. You loved it. That's why I'm
Tell
still
the
shocked you make it
audience.
to your
Tell
list.
the audience.
Great cars, great environment, great biomes. The diversity between each event is actually really varied, and it makes it just so fun to just jump into every time.
Mhm.
It's a game you can jump into on a weekly basis and always have something new to like progress towards, whether it's new vehicles, more money, different houses you want to unlock, or just the seasonal events just to mess around with the game. Uh, it's a timeless game, and it's a game that I know I'm going to be playing this year, the next, and probably the year following that as well, unless Forza 7 comes out. Or Horizon 6, I should say. What am I talking about?
Yeah. So I don't know why Garrett put it so high. I want Amon's thoughts, but you're very much in the camp of how could we not put this on our list?
Yeah.
Like it's criminal that Forza Horizon 5 didn't make our list. And I just felt like when you look at my list, which if you're curious goes Guilty Gear Strive at 10, The Medium at 9, Kana, Death's Door, Scarlet Nexus, It Takes Two, which didn't even make the list. Criminal. That's the game of the year. Well, not my game of the year, but the game of the year at the Game Awards. Ratchet, Psychonauts 2. And then my number one was Tales of Arise, actually. So Forza just doesn't fit in to those. Like, from what I know, from the games that I spent the most time in, all these games I loved more and like thought were critically more my alley, even though I know Forza is the highest rated game this year. And that Forza is a great game. I just fell off it like after a while. Like, there isn't really much more. Like, I did the races, I got bored of the races, and the fact that like multiplayer was broken, like you couldn't play with your friends, was so frustrating. And I've heard that they've tried to fix things and like now it's really buggy. I don't know how true that is. I just didn't feel like it deserved a spot in my top 10. Aman, why didn't you put Forza Horizon 5 in your top 10?
Again, the only thing I liked about the game was that it was pretty. That's it.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm not really a racing game guy. Doesn't do anything for me. It looked great, yeah. I played it a couple of times, and that's about it. Never touching it again. Just like every other Forza.
Wow, this is my first Forza. I listen, I will, maybe I'll go back to it at some point. Will I try Forza Horizon 6 for sure?
Yeah,
This game,
definitely.
this game got me like I'm going to be more excited for Forza Horizon 6. I'm not like overly excited, but I will definitely, when it comes to Game Pass, play it for a little bit because the
Exactly.
game
Yeah.
is good and I think it deserves all the plaudits it got. I just, for me personally, it's not my game. It's not a game for me.
Yeah, definitely. I was debating whether to put Forza or Back for Blood on my list, but I think Back for
Well,
Blood.
I mean, between those two, I think that you made the wrong choice. I think we can all say
No,
that
no,
pretty
come
clear.
on. Back for Blood was fun, dude. Come on. Except for the final boss, it was fun.
How do you feel, Tom? Did you still feel robbed?
I think Horizon should have been number one. Easily.
Well,
It seemed like the consensus was everyone was enjoying it. We were all clamoring for it on the Game Awards to like get get recognized.
yeah,
But no, I
been
guess
nominated.
I guess you guys were just haters.
I just praised it more.
No,
Just praised it more.
no. You wanted it to succeed because it's an Xbox
Get over
game,
it, Tom.
not because
Back
you
for Blood's
like.
better.
I did like it.
Better.
It's still installed on my Xbox.
That's a lot of
played
space. How you should uninstall it?
I have like 4 games on there. It's nothing. I'm fine. All right, guys. Number 1, and it's pretty obvious at this point what it is. With a
Cyberpunk
staggering,
2077. No.
yeah, with a staggering 100 points. I don't know how. It's broad and panel. No, it's 28 points is the actual score for Halo Infinite. Is our game of the year. Project XTalk's game of the year, Halo Infinite. Congratulations, 343. An amazing game. Some would say fully complete, perfect, Phenomenal, no issues, great open world structure, diverse biomes. Trying to think of literally the opposite of what
Perfect pacing.
perfect pacing, great multiplayer progression. No, but I put Halo at number 2. Garrett put Halo at number 1. Amon, where'd you put Halo?
Number 2.
2. Yeah. So, I mean, it was a landslide. It won by 10 points. Like, it wasn't even close.
I mean,
And
who would have thought an Xbox podcast game of the year, Halo Infinite?
Listen, it's nothing to do with Xbox. It's just genuinely like it wasn't my game of the year. I put Tales of Rise, but like genuinely, like I'm okay with Halo Infinite getting our number 1 because 3 out of the 4 of us think it's absolutely amazing.
Look, it was okay game. It just didn't. Notice how it didn't get to my most disappointing list. I was gonna update that. I was like, should I add it there? No. Halo Infinite ended up in gaming purgatory, where it's gonna stay until it fixes itself.
Wow. Tom, I want you to know that you removing it from your list only dropped it by like 5 points.
Yeah,
like
I had it low anyways.
Yeah, it didn't change this list at all. Like I thought you were gonna like seismically shake things up, and I was like, this didn't change anything because Halo was more out in front. Like at one point, it had like 35 points or something.
So this is what I'm upset about. These I'm gonna say my list real quick of games that were not included.
Yeah. Go. I'm gonna give you both the chance. What games weren't included in our top 10 that you want to highlight?
I had The Medium on number 10. I feel like this game should have been included.
I had it at 9, but that only gets it 3 points.
Yeah.
That gets it 3 points, man.
It's a great game. I'm like, Amon didn't like the game because reasons. I get the combat wasn't good because it really wasn't the focus. But geez. I had Super Mario Party at number 9. Really fun game. I like obviously we're Xbox podcast. It's gonna be hard to get that into the list unless everyone had a Switch. I don't even think Kevin has it. So
I think we all have Switches.
No, I meant Super Mario Party.
Oh no, I didn't. You mean Mario Party Superstars? That's what you mean. Super Mario Party is the garbage one that came out a few years ago.
I meant the new one.
Yeah, it's Mario Party Superstars.
That's the one I meant to put on my list, obviously, because it wouldn't have counted because it didn't come out this year.
Yeah,
so
I knew you meant. I knew you meant. Good game. I'm just, it's Mario Party.
I had Subnautica Below Zero at number 8. Really fun survival game. Game Pass. Try it out. Number 6, I had Hitman 3, which was on one of Amon's most disappointing games.
Number 1.
Yeah.
The game is amazing, and I really wish that.
No, I disagree.
No, dude, it's an amazing game, and I think when we on the last episode where we talked about like if you were the head of Xbox, I'm pretty sure I was like I would take this studio, and there's a reason I would take them.
Before you go on, I was really surprised Garrett didn't have Subnautica on his list.
He talked about it. I don't know, dude, because he even have I don't know. There's a lot of things he talked about that didn't make his list, and I'm just shocked. And he's not here, but he added Diablo 2 Resurrected.
At number 2. Number 2 game of the year.
Yeah.
All right. What else was on your list that didn't make it?
I had Control Ultimate Edition at number 5.
Yeah. Honorable mention for sure.
Besides that, everything else was there.
Okay. Not that bad. Like half your list was here. Yeah. Amon, what games didn't make it from your list?
All right, so Back 4 Blood, I had that at number 10. Dodgeball Academia, I had that at number 9. Guardians of the Galaxy, I had that at number 6. And Pokemon Shining Pearl, I had that at number 5. Those were the only games that didn't make it.
I want to say, first of all, Back 4 Blood deserves to not be on that list. Dodgeball Academia, great shout. That's why I made my honorable. It almost made my list. Like I'm gonna be real.
Was that on Garrett's list? Because he liked that game too.
No, I don't believe he put it on. No, he didn't.
He was talking highly about that game too. How he loved Dodgeball Academia. I don't understand you, Garrett.
I liked it. I know Amon and I liked it because it's like an old school Pokemon game, kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was fun. Guardians of the Galaxy, I haven't played yet. Waiting for like a $25 sale. Like if we can get to that, then I'll buy it.
You should have bought it during Black Friday then.
I'm not buying physical.
Oh.
I only buy digital games.
All right. Well, sorry.
Because I think it's still on sale for $25, by the way, like physical. But I'm not getting a disc. I'm not a peasant. Yeah. So you played Guardians? I feel like I haven't heard you talk about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, I did speak about it. Like, I got it like the second week of launch. Maybe I wasn't on that week. I don't remember.
Yeah,
But
you might have been gone. So
Yeah.
what about Guardians did you like? Because I really haven't.
Well, the combat was really cool. It reminded me a lot of Mass Effect, the combat style. The story was phenomenal. I think if I was ranking by story, it would be number 2 on my list. And yeah,
Okay.
if the characters were great. Like I prefer this iteration of the Guardians of the Galaxy better than James Gunn's live action one.
Wow, that's a bold take
Yeah.
right there. You're not the
Like
first
the
person to
chemistry
say it,
between
though.
the characters, the humor, it's just perfect.
I've heard other people say that, though. And then the last one. In what world is Pokemon Shining Pearl getting?
Purely based on nostalgia. That's it.
Maybe it's just because I didn't play it. Like, that was the gen I stopped playing Pokemon.
Wait, Amon, you said
That's the gen I
nostalgia,
started
right?
playing Pokemon. Yeah.
So Amon, weren't you born like in 03? Didn't this game come out like in 03?
Yeah, no, I played
were
it
like-
way after it came out.
you were like
way
0
after
years
it
old?
came out. I played it way after it came out.
Was this your first Pokemon?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That makes
why.
sense. That makes
That's why I
sense.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you played the older ones? Have you played like Red, Blue, Gold?
I pirated like the first one on my on an emulator like when I was in like a few years ago, and
And you're like-
I played a bit of it and then dropped it. Like I didn't beat it. I just played a bit of it. Yeah.
That surprised me because those are way better than any Pokemon they put out since then. Yeah, no, I mean, not some questionable choices, except Dodgeball Academia for sure. That and Guardians of the Galaxy, those are good shouts. I read Garrett's list. I read my list, which has some games nobody else played, like Kana, Guilty Gear, Strive, because I think Guilty Gear was the best fighting game that came out this year. I also had the Medium Tom, like we mentioned. I think It Takes Two. Has no one else played this game?
Oh no, I haven't played it.
I want to say something. If I knew that this was going to be a point-based system,
I
would
told you.
I did you actually say it was a point? I
Yes.
knew you needed the list. I would have put so many of these other games on the top of the list just to get them included.
He would have scammed the system.
Yes, I would have scammed the system, but good thing I didn't, right?
Listen,
Or we would have had Subnautica at number 1.
No, we wouldn't. No, we wouldn't. Oh my god. Oh man. Man, I can't believe It Takes Two. I really thought there was a shoe-in to make the list. Like, it won the Game of the Year award. Like, it's my number 5. I think it's a phenomenal game, and you guys need to play it with
I just
someone.
haven't played it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think any of us besides you. So.
You guys are missing out. It's fantastic. So, guys, that's our list. One more time from the top. We got Halo Infinite, Forza Horizon 5, Tales of Arise, Psychonauts 2, Hades, Scarlet Nexus, Diablo 2 Remastered, and Far Cry 6, Battlefield 2042, and then 10 has a bunch with Ratchet, Death's Door, RE8, Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Because I couldn't split the points. You know, we got the points, and those are what the points showed me. So that's our Game of the Year list. Congrats again to Halo Infinite. We will see what takes it next year. But guys, overall, what did you think of this year for games? I thought this was an amazing year for games. Like this has been my favorite year in like multiple years. Like 2022 or 2020 and 2019. 2020 didn't do anything for me. 2019.
I think
right,
this has
actually
been the best year for games since like 2018.
And 2022 is looking like it's going to be even better.
Yeah.
Oh, 2022.
I think 2018 was really
good.
great. 2019 poor. 2020 poor, but 2021 it was good. It was a good year.
Yeah, 2020 didn't have anything for me really. 2019, the first half was pretty good because we got like Fire over on the Switch side anyway, because we got like Fire Emblem, Luigi's Mansion. I was all about it. I was down with that. But since then, Switch has been a Smash Brothers machine. and Tom, you're right. 2022 is looking fantastic.
Oh yeah.
guys, if you made it this far, congrats. Because next week we will be doing our 2022 predictions, predicting how Xbox will be looking next year, and predictions, and just looking ahead, seeing what games are coming. We already have some confirmed Game Pass games, so join us next week for that. But that's it, guys. Anything else to say before we go?
We got a little surprise next week.
Oh yeah, we do have a little surprise next week. Good on you, Amon. Good on you. Garrett or Tom, anything?
No, I got nothing else.
Okay. Well, guys, on that note, Amon, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Amon_M05.
Tom, where can they find you?
Find me on Twitter at Alpaca Tom. Feel free to DM me any Halo hate messages. I will promptly respond to you as well.
You can find me at the Muffin Mon. That's a 1 instead of an I and an O instead of an A. Make sure to follow us at Project XTalk. Like, share, subscribe, and rate us on all of the audio services. We appreciate anyone that does that. Thank you so much. We will see you guys next Thursday with a little surprise. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye.